Friends, happy Friday. I hope everyone is well. I'm excited. Really excited. What a good week in the market. I think a lot of us made a ton of money, a ton of great moves in the market this week. If you're just getting into the market or just starting to feel comfortable getting back into it, welcome to crazy land. We're going to talk about stocks, obviously, but I do want to address this narrative that's happening in the market. And I think there's probably more agreement than there is disagreement at this point. Maybe, who knows? Obviously, everyone has their own opinion here, but there is this line that has been put in the sand here with the market, and it's pretty obvious what's going on here. So the market is going, you know what? We're not so much concerned about what the feds are saying, and we've been seeing this right now. Trump and his party, the market is more excited about what they're doing. The market loves these tariff deals being locked up. It loves these new deals. It loves this new business. The market loves it. The market loves old money, new money, and big money. And that's really the reaction that we're getting out of the market right now. So then you have the feds over here who, feds are saying one thing, Trump administration is saying one thing. Trump's going, I want rate cuts now. Markets, everything's hotter than it's ever been. Inflation going down, all that kind of stuff. Feds are over here going, well, inflation, we expect it to kick up here. These tariffs, we're still not sure. Jerome Powell's like, I'm not doing rate cuts yet. We're going to wait. I want to save them just in case something comes up here. So you have this going on, but the markets, even when the feds are coming out with some bad news, it's not tanking the market. What is controlling the market right now is what Trump's doing. Tariffs going good or tariffs going bad. We've had the bad, okay? We've dealt with the bad. So now that we've dealt, essentially from what we can tell, we may have already went through the storm. That's essentially what I think a lot of us are trying to see here. We've weathered the storm. We've come out of this stock market storm, which was the tariff escapade here with China, with Europe in general, Mexico, everything. I mean, Canada. Now a lot of it's getting resolved. It's getting cleaned up, and so we're looking at this and we're going, well, I mean, what's the next thing that could really devastate the market? And look at that and you go, well, a lot of these big tariffs, they've been worked out. The China tariff it's not sealed. It's not a sealed deal. They're still obviously working on it. It's like this fake deal that they all have come to an agreement at this point. We're still waiting for the UK deal to be locked in here and be sealed up, which, as far as we're still being told, yes, it's good. The only one big negative situation that has happened as of late is that Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, who said that they were going to start mass production of iPhones here, making iPhones here in America, now is saying, hey, we're going to build a huge plant in India. We're going to start manufacturing phones there. And Trump is public had come out and said, like, I'm not happy with Tim, and they're talking anyway. And that's not really even that big of a deal. I mean, it was nice that that was going to happen, that Apple was going to come over here, but still, like, there's articles saying that they're still going to open up factories here making. I think it's all up in, it's Fugazi at this point. It's Fugazi. We'll see what happens there. But right now, that is the separation in the market. Now, it's bad, it's good, but right now, Trump is essentially controlling the direction of this market, okay? The S&P 500 is almost back in the 6,000 point range here. Now, the reason I'm saying all this is because it is the broad view of what's going on with this market right now, okay? So we are essentially almost back in level where Trump took office here, okay? That's essentially back. Essentially, that's where we're at. I mean, when Trump came in the office, the market was at 5.9. We're over 5.9 now. So if we can get back to the February numbers of, almost 6,200 point in the S&P, and then we get past that, that's going to show that we're in a bull run 100%. I think we're already in the beginning stages of it. So that is what I'm trying to say. I do believe that we are going into a bull run here. And if these deals keep getting sealed up with the tariff situation, the market's going to keep running on this. Investors are hungry. We're hungry. We want we want to trade, we want to make money. The market is allowing traders to do something very special right now. It's allowing them to buy in low and get out very high. I mean, if you look at what some of these stocks, just some of the basic stocks that I talk about on a weekly basis, like, look at Palantir. I mean, Palantir, from when Palantir opened up here on Monday to, what it did till Friday here, once it got up into this 130 range. Now, obviously, we're at 130 here with Palantir, and obviously, we're going right into Palantir. I guess we'll just talk about Palantir for a moment and move on to something else. But Palantir here obviously has hit this all new high. Okay, I mean, a beautiful situation. I don't want to talk too much about it because I blabbered so much about it, but Palantir is in this beautiful situation where it's had great quarterly. It's just going deals. Alex Karp went over with Trump administration, all that, showed his face, and Alex is hungry. He's looking for more. He's looking for more deals. He's looking for more partnerships, and they're finding them. And this is why the expectation of Palantir becoming a $1 trillion market cap here in the next short years is reasonable, and it probably could happen here more than likely. So Palantir stock, I mean, this is why we say when Palantir can keep running, of course it can keep running, because right now, Palantir's overpriced, so it's already that's already something that we know. But the other aspect of that too is that it already doesn't make sense, so it can keep not making sense, and it can keep running to 135 to 140. Who knows? We might be 150 here with Palantir before we know it. Now, obviously, there will come a point here where Palantir is like, there's obviously, there's a huge wall. There's a huge wall. Now, is it at 130? I don't know. We were pretty much at almost 135 here this week. I mean, it was trying as hard as it could, and we just couldn't get there. But here's what you're going to watch more than likely with Palantir. If this market continues to do what it's doing, you're going to have Palantir run up to a new level, and people are going to go, oh my God, sell out, take their money, and then it's going to fall to, whatever the new high was a week before that. So, let's say Palantir next week runs up to $136, okay? People are going to sell out. They're going to take profit and go, woo, man, that was crazy. I bought in at 128, 129. I made a great profit. I'll wait for the dust to settle. Well, then Palantir falls to maybe 131, and we're going, well, Palantir's not falling below 131. That's interesting. And then we go into another week, and then Palantir runs into like 138, and we're like, whoa, man, Palantir's at 138. And then it's a rinse and repeat process situation of what we're watching here. This isn't anything new. This is what we've been watching here with Palantir for the last year. I mean, if you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. So Palantir is in this range of where, okay, if it's going to go past 135, it's a clear indication that we're looking for 140, okay? But as the market keeps running up, you're going to have stocks like Palantir that have so much push behind them, they're going to keep running. So I don't think it's insane to say that Palantir is going to find its 140, maybe 150 by summer. I don't think that's that crazy to say that. But I do think somewhere before the next quarterly, Q2 of this year, Palantir, unless some kind of crazy deal comes out here that Palantir receives, like crazy deal, which is very possible, I don't think that I think Palantir is going to hit a brick wall here eventually. Now, is that brick wall at 140, 150? I don't know. But there has to be a wall here. But, I mean, that's still insane profit. So, like I said, Palantir is offering investors to buy in even at 127 if we can get back to 127, which I think is very reasonable. I still think maybe 110 on a really rough day in the market is reasonable. But, anything under $100 at this point with Palantir, that, I don't know. Like, that may just be gone. Palantir may never be under $100 again. I mean, the market's going to have to really find devastation. In the devastation, I don't know what it would be. I don't know what it would be. If we even saw tidbits of devastation headed towards the market, the Feds would probably come out here and say, okay, we're doing rate cuts. Inflation ticking up. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. That is a situation of where, I just don't, I'm not seeing the huge pullback at the moment. What I'm seeing a hungry stock market. I'm seeing hungry investors. I'm seeing investors loving what's going on here. So Palantir is very much in this push in the market, 100%. And do not think that Palantir has found its new high and it's not going past this. There's going to be a fight here in the next weeks for Palantir to find 140. 100%. It's not far at this point. It's just not far. And BigBear too. You look at BigBear and you go, oh my God. Look what BigBear did this week. This is freaking nuts, guys. This is nuts. So BigBear is holding almost this $4 position right now. Just amazing what BigBear is doing right now. So BigBear being in this run is very positive. It's a good situation. Now, obviously, BigBear is, how I feel about BigBear. If you're putting money in BigBear, you've got to know what you're getting yourself into. It's a gamble still at this point. Yes, they've got problems. Yes, they need more money. They need more deals. But there are good things happening to BigBear too, with the deals that they've been receiving and the potential of bigger deals and just more deals, not even bigger, just more deals, to where maybe by the end of the year, BigBear can have a $200 million revenue year. Now, that's not a lot of money, obviously, but it's a lot of money for BigBear. It's the most money they would have ever achieved in a year cycle. So that would tell us that 2026 could be an even bigger year. And this is how you grow with stocks, okay? Listen, 2-3 years ago, people weren't buying Palantir when it was, they weren't buying Palantir like it is now, when it was, like now it's making almost $1 billion a quarterly. No, 2-3 years ago, Palantir was still making under $500 million a quarterly. Okay, so obviously that's even incredibly more than what BigBear is doing right now. But this is why people are paying attention to BigBear. They're wanting to make positions. They're wanting to follow what's going on here. You have to look deeper into situations with stocks than just going, oh, they got debt. Look at this. There's not enough volume. There's too much negative news. I get all that, man. But I'm going to tell you one thing, and this is not me telling you to buy BigBear. You're a big person, grown up, big boy, big girl. Do what you want to do. Listen, some of the best runs and some of the best money I've ever made in the market have been in things that were looked down on, were things where people were the big group of people would go, please give me a break. Okay, whatever. There's money to be made with BigBear, 100%. There's a reason why BigBear is staying at these numbers. There's a reason why BigBear has potential to run to $4 to $5. There was an article that came out today that said BigBear will break into $4 and should remain there because of what's going on with it. I thought that was interesting, honestly, that it said that. So I am not telling you to buy BigBear. All I'm saying is I am very interested in BigBear. I'm very interested in what BigBear has for its future. If BigBear had not gotten these government contracts as much as it has, I wouldn't care about it. I wouldn't be talking about it. I certainly wouldn't be saying these things about it. I would never put money in it. I would have never, taken these roller coaster rides with it, compounding positions in it, taking money, putting more money in it. Never would have done it. If for some reason they start to get dropped out of these government contracts, I'll be gone. I don't think that's mean. I think that's just the narrative of what we know is going on right now with BigBear. We're only in it because of the government contracts. That's okay. That's good. The government contracts are good. We want more, okay? And with all this new stuff going on in Saudi and the deals and, the huge bill that's coming out here with defense, maybe BigBear will be part of it. I don't know. We're dreaming now. We're dreaming, but it's okay to dream. Sometimes dreams come true. And looking at Hims, my God. Wow. Look, this is crazy. Friends, the reason why Hims is going so crazy, you are looking at something like kind of like what Palantir has been doing. But Hims is even on a more massive push up when it comes to quarterlies. Hims has just been annihilating their quarterlies. They have just been printing money, and this company is just it's looking for billion-dollar quarterly here sooner than later. Now, obviously, it's still got some money to make here. There's still some running to go, but it is just undoubtedly finding so much business out there, and the revenue is growing like crazy. So what you're buying into right now, you're buying into the futures. Now, obviously, can this $64 position handle or support what's going on right now? Can it stay at this level? I don't know. I look at Hims right now and I go, it's obviously way too expensive for what it is, but it's the expectation of what is coming here. If it continues on this growth pattern, whoa. And so it's like, as a lover of the stock market, and I love when companies just find business and they go crazy and they're in this new pattern of revenue. I look at Hims and I go, like, this is so cool to watch this, because it really is. And like, I don't think there's anyone, like, you can't go on YouTube or just watch TV at this point and not see a Hims and Hers advertisement. I mean, they're everywhere. There's a reason why the company is growing so fast, what they offer, their bread and butter, and they're just being advertised everywhere. So as of right now, Hims and Hers is headed for a lot more money, and it's finding a very bright future in just our culture, which is huge. And just to talk about SoundHound and SoFi, I mean, both stocks had a great week. Just 100% had a great week. SoundHound, I think, surprised everyone and just really did some really great things this week. Obviously, Monday, Tuesday being a really good day for it. Trying to get back to a $13 range. So SoundHound is still in this very much, situation of where, it could find, a really good year here in 2025. 2024, great year. 2025 is turning out to be even better, is what we can see. Their newest quarterly wasn't as good as their last quarterly, but it was still better than anything they had produced in years prior. So it's still a very attractive situation. Q2 will obviously be very interesting to see what they pull out here, but that's why you're seeing support right now in SoundHound. A lot of people are paying attention to what's going on here in SoundHound land. And SoFi, I'm not going to say anything bad about SoFi. I'm drinking the juice on SoFi. I think SoFi is looking for 14. I think it's looking for 15. I think it's looking for 16. I think it's going to find 17 before we know it. So do not be shocked when those numbers come up. I'll talk more about SoFi this weekend and stuff with some more things. But friends, tell me some stocks. Tell me what you guys are buying. There's other stocks that I invest in. I don't even talk about them here because, the thing is too, when I talk about a stock on here, people immediately they look at it and some people buy it. And that was kind of like what happened with Big Bear. Like, I talked about Big Bear once on YouTube and I was like, I'm looking at I've been buying into this little AI company because they've been getting some deals, and and then I like the video did really well. People are like, yeah, I've been wanting to know about that company. I've been buying into that company, and then Big Bear got a really big deal, and then they blew up, and so that's kind of how the Big Bear stuff started. So I will try to enter some new stocks here because I think it's good to enter some new things here into the watch list of what we're all putting our money in. So friends, listen, great week. I want to wish everyone a great weekend. I hope you have a nice weekend, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate that, friends. I'm excited about this market. I'm excited about what's come. I think it's gonna be good. I think we're going in some really great numbers here. Take care of yourself, friends. Bye bye.